Hi, and welcome to Aliens Part 2. We are going to dive into another alien story. This one goes all the way back to the 1960s. And we just want to say, of course, that this is all for entertainment purposes only. And we are very respectful towards any dead spirit, alien entity that isn't involved here and protected from those things and safe. So I just sort of put that out there before we start tapping into this energy because it's weird, right?
It is.
And we have Gordon here. So just imagine this, okay? I'll kind of set it up here. You're out in the morning on your lavender firm, enjoying a nice morning cigarette before you start your day in the middle of the summer, beautiful, crisp morning, and you see something over in the field that captures your attention. It's really big, an object you've never seen before. And this happened to a man over in France named Maurice Massé. So, what he had seen was an oval shaped structure land in his field. The structure was supported by four legs in front of which stood two figures, barely 4 feet tall. These beings were dressed in tight gray green clothes with oversized heads, sharp chins, and large slanted eyes, making grumbling noises. He even heard them. One of the figures pointed a pencil like device at Maurice, which left him paralyzed for 20 minutes, and during which time the two figures entered the ship and flew away. So that is the story. When they flew away, there was a deep hole in the area, and it was like kind of like ended up getting hardened like concrete, and all the plants in the vicinity died, decayed. So when they analyzed it, they found higher amounts of calcium than in other parts of the property. So they identified that one mineral as being like higher in the area, but it like hardened basically everything that was there.
Mm.
Very interesting. And the guy was paralyzed for 20 minutes and just
Yeah,
had to watch.
that's very different, right? Because you have events of like being taken and alien abduction and different feelings and sensations and people saying they have been spoken to or hearing things, seeing things, but I've never really come across somebody saying I have been paralyzed. Or at least
Mhm.
if it does happen, I don't think it's that often mentioned. It's usually just what we spoke, which is another weird incident when we did the first episode, being turned to stone, right? And then you usually just have things flying past and things that are genuinely just there to be observed or heard or seen, and not necessarily that much interaction going on, unless it's a very rare occasion like this one where you have like physical interaction in the sense of him having some sort of effect due to whatever they were doing. So it is one of
Mhm.
those weird ones and sort of next level ones, I guess, right?
Exactly. Yeah. To live to tell the tale, number one. But to
Mm-hmm.
be able to remember, because that's another thing I think with abductions, right? Is a lot of people almost record like their memory being wiped, or
Mm-hmm.
like, I just remember waking back up here, or whatever, like being abducted. Or maybe, yeah, maybe just erasing, like maybe Men in Black style, like gave them the little flashy thing and said, like,
Yeah.
we weren't here. Like, we don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Like
this was cool
selective
that he was
selective memory loss
allowed.
almost.
Yeah, he was allowed to live. He wasn't abducted, which by his, from what he knows. So yeah, I would love to kind of check in and see, like, the first kind of question comes to mind is like, why were they there? What was
Yeah.
the purpose?
Let's see what we
Um,
get.
yeah, let me just get some cards here.
Let's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
I'm getting a very interesting story developing with my cards.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
um, just because, so I'm using this very obscure, weird deck that I kind of just bought in a pack of like free, a used pack from somebody, and I never really used this deck, but I'm called to use it today.
Hmm.
So I'm just kind of going with the image, and there's this woman holding like a little puppy dog.
Okay.
And it was like, go your own way. And then, of course, I'm like asking the tarot a little bit more into this. And I got the Page of Cups.
Okay.
Um, so I'm wondering if it's almost like, did they have like one of their young ones come here and they were coming back to save it?
Hmm.
To pick it up again because and I also find both of these cards to be very docile, very innocent, nothing mean or harmful or aggressive at all. This Page of Cups in this deck is actually a capybara on it, which is known to be the friendliest creature on earth.
Yeah.
So very friendly vibes, very almost like, oh, we're just kind of, coming to get this one because it took the wrong turn or it was here a little bit too long or like something like this, like a teaching moment for somebody on the ship. What do you have?
What I got is the Hermit that is then combined with the King of Wands in reverse and Five of Pentacles. So actually the first
Mm.
aspect that I thought of when I saw these cards was maybe they were searching or mining or looking for some like rare minerals or something that they could be using for their own needs. But I almost get this sense of almost a dimensional slip. Like they weren't supposed to be there in that moment. Somebody messed up a little bit and they were trying to basically cover up or save us or whatever. And
Mm.
the what you're getting is like somebody being in trouble because we also have the Nine of Swords, and that combined with the Five of Pentacles is like we're trying to help somebody, somebody's in trouble, somebody's not doing very good, and we're just trying to help them. I do think that the prospect of this being potentially them trying to save a young one or helping a young one because they got lost actually makes a lot of sense because it doesn't really point to anything else. Like there is no hidden agenda, there is no aspect of we're here to collect information, we are here to do this or we are here to do that. It literally just feels like this was a slip up. This was not supposed to happen in the way that it did. This was not supposed to be seen, heard, or noticed by anybody. Nobody was supposed to know about this going on or this happening and the actual turn of events and everything else. So I think that they don't fucked up. Somebody got in trouble.
I kind of agree. And I was just also asking, like, have they been here before? And I got the Ace of Wands. So to me, it's like that's their first time. It's like this is
Yeah.
yeah, and it was just like a spark. Like it's just like, yeah, we were here in a flash. Like kind
Did
of
you
like you
say?
said, like somebody took like a wrong dimensional turn and like, oh crap,
Yeah.
like come
Yeah.
get me down on Earth. Like
Exactly. Did you get the Page of Pentacles? You said.
oh, I had the Page of Cups.
So, okay, so I got the Page of Pentacles in
But
reverse.
even still, yeah, still a page, a
Ten of
feminine page.
Pentacles. Yeah,
Okay.
Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So definitely like a family being broken up. Yeah, I do think that I can confer on your story. Yeah, this seems like a
So
fucked
what do you think
fuck
was
up.
their intention like with freezing him? So I got the Three of Swords reversed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they didn't want to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to get hurt. It was just, I believe, yeah, like let's do a quick freeze frame on him, like give him a 20-minute shot. We'll get the
Yeah.
hell out of here.
Yeah.
But Three of Swords reverse is like, I think they were, yeah, a little bit startled by him seeing them.
Unexpected for sure.
Yeah, it was unexpected and they just kind of, yeah, like they like where it's reversed, it's like they want him to heal. They want him to be okay. They didn't
Yeah,
want to, have to hurt him
yeah.
in a permanent way.
I almost kind of want to say with the cards that I got, because I have Knight of Wands, Hierophant, the Queen of Swords. I kind of want to say that what we have mentioned in the very beginning, or you have mentioned in the very beginning, that traditionally we see this aspect of people having memory loss and stuff like that. That might have been the original idea to paralyze him, but for him to also
Mhm.
have memory loss. But I do think that due to his brain structure or something going on in his mind, that it actually not work. So he just went still, paralyzed, but did not
Um,
experience any memory loss and actually remembered everything. So I think that that part fucked up. But I do think that the idea was like, let's just not freak him out and put him in a position where, he's having, these, I don't know, dreams and nightmares or, worries about, aliens and us as,
Mm.
whatever is happening. Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Yeah, and it's funny. I actually pulled two more cards and I got anxiety and strategy. So I feel like they felt his surprise and they
Hmm.
like, 'cause that's another thing about the ETs. I believe that like they don't just see us. I think they feel us. They can feel our emotions. He was probably like, freaking out a little bit on the
Yeah.
inside.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was just like a quick strategy. Like, okay, whoops, like he's not supposed to be here. Let's get our guy out, our person, our baby, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Our immature, lost dimensional turn person. And yeah, and it was kind of like they stumbled on him and didn't want to hurt him, but didn't want him to interfere. And yeah, and maybe try to get him to, yeah, not feel so scared either.
Yeah. I think this was like
Because,
a moment of like, oh fuck, which protocol do I have to follow? Like one of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Like, what's the
Like, oh shit,
protocol
we've
here?
we've never seen this. Like, what is it? Like, they probably have never seen us before because I believe it
I
was
would
really the first
I would
time.
I would agree in the aspect of them being here the first time, but I would disagree in the aspect of them being here before. Because I do have a question that I wanted us to look at. Have they observed us before this landing? Like this particular like couple of aliens, have
So
they observed
I
us?
was just gonna say, like, are we talking about this little group or like that species? Like,
I would say this little group, and we can
okay,
do like a separate one as species, because what I got
okay,
is like an almost a dimensional slip. Like they were not supposed to be in this 3D reality. They were supposed to be in a different dimension, vibrating somewhere different. And somebody done fucked up, fell out the ship or done something, and then they were like, "Oh, we have to now go through 3D to get them back, and
yeah.
then go do our own thing, and let's figure it out."
I totally agree with that because I got another ace too. I got the Four of Pentacles reverse, so that
Okay.
is like something dropping, like dropping the ball, literally. And with the
Hmm.
four, you're nice and secure, but then when you drop one, you go back to the three, that number of creation. So what you just said about like creating the wrong frequency or vibrating at the wrong
Yep.
spot. And then it went to the Ace of Swords this time. So I had the Ace of Wands last time. It's like this is the direction. Like we got shot there. Like
Yep.
it's so cool to see that in the cards, that, like what you just said,
So
basically.
you would say it wasn't intentional, it was accidental.
No, I think it was
Okay.
accidental.
Because the
Yeah. I
combination that I get is the Tower and the Death.
Tower and oh, there you go. It's like we fell into it. So
Literally.
I don't think they were this little group here before. Let me see. I want to ask about their species though, because
Hmm.
their species sounds familiar with other stories.
It does, yeah. I kind of want to
4 foot
say,
gray guys.
yeah, because I originally said I disagree because I got the feeling that they might have observed us from a different dimension, like where they could see what we were doing and shit like that, but couldn't necessarily interact with us. And this feels
Right.
like, yeah, this was some sort of short circuiting or some sort of equipment failing and or something like a system dying. And they're like, oh shit, we cannot maintain this frequency. We are dropping, and they fell through to this frequency, landing here. So yeah.
To me, it feels like they weren't really observing us or they were here before.
So they were just doing their own
Um,
thing, I guess, altogether.
yeah, I get like I just asked like observing and then first time and I got for observing I got take a step back and then for the first time it said take charge and action. So
Hmm.
to me it's like, oh goodness. Yeah, again, it just feels like they weren't that, yeah, not trying to be here. They might have
Yeah.
been aware of us in some way, maybe like galactic data or something, but what do
Hmm.
you got?
Let's see.
Mm,
Looking at us, I think we are on the radar as maybe like a lower class that's not dangerous to them necessarily, but mainly
okay.
like dangerous to ourselves because of the stupid shit that we do.
Sure.
So I don't think that they pay that much attention to us because I don't think that we are quite advanced enough to where we would be
Right.
interested, if that makes sense. They cannot necessarily do any sort of trading with us or any sort of exchange with us, which is, I feel like, where they were looking, because I got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, combined with the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Swords in reverse, in between those two, finishing with the
Wow.
Knight of Wands. And yeah, it feels like we are looking to trade, we are looking to sell or to invest or to buy. And this, we cannot work because we are not working at the same level, and you don't have anything to offer us. You don't have the technology, you don't have the resources, because you're not making or using the materials in a way that would benefit us and would be able to offer us something of use. So I don't think that we are necessarily that interesting to them. I do think that they are aware of us, but I don't think that they go out of their way to interact. We don't pose a threat, and we don't have anything to offer. I do think that there is a lot of scouting going on, though, just trying to figure out whether or not there is something that we could offer, potentially any sort of natural resources, whether that be minerals or anything else within our natural system and sources, or even weapons that are being created. Who knows what's going on in Area 51 and what sort of thing is being created down there, or who knows what Russia's creating. Different things that are possibly underground and not spoken about, that could potentially be of interest to somebody, or pushing us further into advancement as far as our own technology and just knowledge. I do actually want to look into something else that's somewhat unrelated
Okay.
but is related, nonetheless, since we have done two stories talking about the past, and I have recently, and I've told you about, the things that I've been watching, come across a couple of things that actually talk about the experts or people that have experience, like literal confirmed experience with the government of, departments that are working with investigating the UFOs and whatnot. The underline is we are not advanced enough to actually be able to do anything. So we can basically just observe what they're doing and what's happening. And what is being observed, that the frequency of UFOs, these unidentified objects, becoming more frequent. Now, the thing with this is they're actually changing the name as well officially. It is no longer UFOs. It is unidentified anomalous objects, I think. It is taken on a different name as well officially.
So
Um
yeah, it's UAP,
UAP.
unidentified phenomenon or something. It's like
Yes.
something phenomenon instead of object.
I think it's, you said
I'll have to look.
UA.
I feel like it's like UAP, but I can't remember
Yeah,
what the A is.
unidentified anomalous phenomenon. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um because they're no longer just airborne. They're coming out
Right.
of the sea. They have been seen in water, and they can no longer also be categorized as flying because for flying you need, the three forces, and you need something that would resemble wings, which a lot of these crafts do not have, and they can go from air to water without doing anything because a submarine has the look of a submarine for a reason, and a plane has a look of a plane for a reason because it can do
Yeah.
those things. It can go underwater. It can go.
So I
It can
actually
go
heard
in the
of
air.
I've heard of someone seeing this before. So my partner's grandmother, okay, so an old like she was an old lady and they lived
Hmm.
across from the river. And she said one morning she was up early, it was still dark, and she saw like a big bright light dive down into the middle of the river. And she said it was so fast, like it was nothing, and it was quiet. You didn't hear a thing. It didn't make splash. It just zoop, disappeared. Like
There we go.
Divination Detectives is a duo that does more than talk about the hidden and the unexplained. We offer a unique experience of a tarot session where we delve into what your future holds, what you may experience, guiding you towards the path that will get you closer to your goals. There are spots available for the autumn sessions starting in September. Discover what awaits you this autumn, how to maximize your effort, and where your energy is best spent. You can DM either of us or send us an email. All the links are in the description box below.
What is kind of being spoken about is that the frequency of these visits and what they're noticing and recording is that there is more and more of them. So,
Yes,
my
I
question,
feel that way. Yeah.
yeah, my question that I think I want the two of us to look at is why is that? What is the intention now that they're becoming more frequent? Is there something, have they discovered something, or is it just that we are having better capabilities of actually noticing?
Okay, so for this,
Hmm.
I got
I'm
the Nine
listening.
of Wands. I got the Nine of Wands, which is
Okay.
really interesting to me because it's almost like we've always been here, kind of like
Hmm.
we've always been here. Um, but then it also came with this deceit card from another deck, which is reverse. So like when it's reverse, it's like taking away the deceit. It's like we're no longer lying to ourselves about them being here.
Hmm.
Because if you think about like this story in the 1960s, there just would have been radio stations, a few TV stations, maybe newspapers that would take this information and then you would by chance hear it. It wasn't like widespread, and then it would be like, oh, that's the devil with all of the churchy stuff. So there would be a lot of people that if something happened, I think they would keep it to themselves.
Hmm.
Another thing with the Nine of Wands, like just kind of getting like beating yourself up for a long time, but like still trucking on. So yeah, I feel like a lot of I feel like it's always maybe been the same amount, but we're just that veil has been lifting. It's more known. Governments are admitting it now. It's more widespread in in popular communities, popular
Hmm.
culture. So yeah, I don't feel like it's any different amount. I don't know. What do you think?
I would actually have to agree 100% with you. At
Great. Yeah.
100%, because the first card that I got is the Seven of Cups, and it's like you don't need to know the intention yet because it's not necessarily malicious. It's just they're doing their own thing and they're doing um what they have always done. And it's no different, it's nothing new. We have the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles both in reverse. So it almost feels like there might be moments where it's a bit slower, like the activity is less than it might have been at one point in history and
Okay.
time. And it almost feels like they have just always been here, like silently. And maybe even some of them aren't even, I would say, alien in the traditional sense of like they're coming from a different planet to visit, but may actually be living on Earth or inside of Earth. Um, and just, doing their thing. And it's like, oh, we need to go grocery shopping to Mars. Like, oh, let's just jump in our space vehicle and fly out the river and do our thing. So it definitely has that connotation of it has always been the same. It's just that we are noticing it more because it's being spoken more and it's being revealed more. And it almost like the Seven of Cups is giving me this feeling we might actually be asking the wrong question, in the sense of it's not why are they here or are they becoming more frequent, but why is that not being spoken about more? Why is this not being destigmatized more, where we can have a better understanding of what is actually going on? And if there are experiences, if there are people that have firsthand stories that could actually benefit our understanding of what they are, what they want, what their intentions are, and to ultimately be able to maybe have some sort of connection and understanding with them, why would we not destigmatize that? Why would we not allow people that have genuine stories to come through and say, this is the thing, like I was abducted or I spoke to one, or whatever. I saw this, I saw that. That might be the direction to go in. And I feel like that's what Tara is saying. Like we're not looking at the right statistics and the data in the sense of like, oh, it's being more. It's just what's being revealed and released to us, nothing
Mhm.
else.
Yeah, I like that. I agree.
Because what I also um, pretty much was convinced on through this different pieces of information that I was getting is there is no real way for us to defend ourselves or do anything if they do choose to, let's say, attack us or
Mhm.
say we are now in control. Like we have no weapons that can deter that type of technology.
Mhm. So I got this art card from this obscure deck, and it's just really interesting. And it's Mount Shasta, which is a known alien mountain, like as a portal for kind of like what I was saying about the river. Mount
Yes.
Shasta is known by the native people there to connect with the star people and that they come in and out of it. And this card actually says show love and compassion. And it's the
Damn.
angel of Mount Shasta. So it's like there's love and compassion for us. I feel like they have. Um, and I'm not saying all beings, whatever, but I think the most that we encounter and we have coming in and out or staying, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
staying on the planet. They I feel like they guard us, they love us, they want to make sure we're not blowing ourselves up with nukes.
Yeah.
I think there's evidence of them being around nuclear places because of that reason, like turning shit off, make sure it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like the more compassion and try to love and understanding that we have for each other and peacefulness, like not being afraid is the main thing, the more we can understand about why they're here and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. Like it's like there's no match for their technology right now. Like we're un we're unevolved. We're like bacteria just growing on the earth right now compared to like what they have going on as far as technology and interdimensional travel, understanding frequencies, like mind vibes, emotional vibes, all the things, right? Like we're just
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the 3D and we're feeling 3D and they are multidimensional.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you're right. Like putting the love first instead of fear, I think is really big. And especially in these next few years where more is coming to light and it's more known by everyone.
Yeah, I agree. So is this our parting message? Love each other. Love our aliens as much as they love us.
Think so. I think it's a good message to end on. And it's like maybe people are gonna like, oh, we're crazy like alien lovers. But I think it's always better to look at things through a positive lens. Because when you look at it through the negative lens, then that's what gets fed. And I
Yeah.
still believe all that negative stuff is there and accessible. So it's like what you were saying, like keeping our frequency correct. And I think this is a
Yeah.
good way to do it.
Yeah, and I think also just staying realistic, like if they would have wanted to do something negative, they would have already.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we've,
Yeah.
I guess you could say, coexisted for a while. So let's just do that. Let's try and be understanding towards ourselves as much as we are towards them as well, I guess. So I hope and we hope that this was a interesting episode for you guys to listen. Do let us know your opinions if you have had any experiences or you know somebody that has had any experiences. Feel free to share those with us. We would love to hear any sort of true stories, any sort of experiences, or things that you might have come across that you've heard or read that you find quite interesting or mind-boggling, and you're like, "How is that possible?" Just do let us know. We are also trying to collect stories for our October episodes. So, any sort of true stories of horror, ghosts, demons, anything spooky and creepy. If you have anything like that, or you know somebody that has it, feel free to let us know. And you can get us on our email, actually, which is going to be the easiest way to send us any sort of stories. And the email for that is alexgogo986@gmail.com. And that email is going to be posted down in the description on whatever platform you are listening to. So until next time, check our social media out for any updates, for any new information and episode trailers and teasers. You can find us at Divination Detectives, and then our separate accounts on pretty much all social accounts are Tarot Shuffle for me and Guiding Tarot for Alec. We do hope you have a lovely rest of your day or evening whenever you're listening to this, and until next time.